Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 17th of 2025. We are convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director. With me today is our Board Chair, Paula Weiss, as well as Board members Nancy Cameradiner, John O'Connor, and George Matthews. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectations of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. Today's category is license and inspection. Paula, please take it away.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for July 17th, 2025 are now in session. Before we move into the administrative hearings that will proceed for today, we have some administrative matters to read into the record from our docket, starting with what is listed as case number 4 for 1242-48 Adams Avenue. Last four digits of the docket are 2ZHU, and that matter is continued. Looking at what is listed on our docket as cases 2 and 5 for Spruce Builders at 1320 South Corley Street and 1322 South Corley Street. Case number 2 for 1320 has the last four digits of the docket 9659. Case number 5 for 1322 South Corley Street has the last four digits of the docket is 9662. These matters are going to be marked by the Tax Review Board as no action needed. We have received information, and I think Mr. Cohen can probably confirm as well, that this petitioner has actually applied for refunds for these matters and is going to go a different procedural route, which may or may not bring them back here, but these specific petitions will be marked no action needed. Mr. Cohen, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, just that the city shares that understanding, and that if these do come back, they'll come back under a different statute. So it's a different process.
Okay, very good. So can I get concurrence from board members that both of these petitions will be marked no action needed?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So the petitioner will get a letter from the Tax Review Board in 2 weeks or so that will confirm that these matters are closed in this particular posture. And if we see them at a later time, we see them at a later time. All right, so we're going to move on to what is listed on our docket under case number 3, 601 Emily Street, last four digits of the docket, K2IJ, petitioner Leanna Slaughter. Ms. Slaughter, I believe, is in our hearing room.
Yeah.
Can you? Yes.
Hello, I'm here.
Good afternoon, Ms. Slaughter. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you state your full name for the record, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Leanna Slaughter.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. So, Ms. Slaughter, we're going to start by turning to the city representative so that we can get the dates and dollar amounts and controversy read into the record and any opening remarks from the city attorney. We're going to then turn back to you, and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here today and what it is that you're looking for from our board. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Mr. Cohen, your case.
Thank you. I actually want to correct for the record, the exhibits packet and the position statement the city sent previously had the wrong number on this. The city had JJ instead of IJ.
Okay.
But with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Mitchell to read in the numbers into the record.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell. Can you state your full name and position with the city, please?
Sure. Lashika Mitchell. I am a code administrator for license and inspection.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these matters will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Could we have the dollar and dates in controversy on this?
Yes. 601 Emily Street. This is a CSU demo bill. Bill date 3/6/2024. Bill number 2023-004227. Principal amount $18,998. The admin charge is $3,989.58. There's no interest, and there's also a lien fee of $106.45, bringing the total to $23,094.03.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any opening comments, Mr. Cohen?
Yes, just briefly to summarize, this was a fairly standard unsafe case, upgraded to imminently dangerous, and then bid out through the city's normal process for demo. The petitioner in this case did file an appeal from the unsafe violation notice, but she unfortunately filed it to the wrong administrative board. So by the time that the property had been upgraded to imminently dangerous, she didn't file an appeal to the proper administrative board, nor did she correct the previous appeal of the previous unsafe notice. So the city moved forward with its usual demolition to abate imminently dangerous violations.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Ms. Slaughter, what would you like to tell us about how this all came about?
I did receive the notice of unsafe. And I went to license and inspection and I asked them, can I speak with someone so that I can correct it? They gave me a letter and said someone would get back with me. No one ever got back with me. I put in 2 appeals and no one notified me to say anything. And I feel like my building, although it was cited unsafe, it didn't have to be demoed. I had a new front and the back had work done previously before that. And I just find that I have been under attack just because I'm in the area that I am. And it's doing a lot of regentrification and things like that. So I'm here because I don't feel like my building should have been demoed. And
Okay,
the city directed me to the wrong place. I went there for help. So I should have been instructed where to go properly to the proper appeal section. That's their job. And I went twice, not once. I did 2 appeals. So I can't understand if I wasn't going in a proper place, why wasn't I told that?
you put in 2 appeals?
Yes, ma'am. I put in 2, not 1 appeal. I put in 2 appeals
And you have,
about my demo, and no one contacted me, and they demoed my building. And when they put the sign up, I went down there the 3rd time. No one helped me. No one talked to me. I asked several places. I did like all the research and I did not receive any help.
So
So
go ahead.
I just feel like I should have been directed to the prop, and I should have went through the proper channels before my house, that was my grandmother's house, was demoed. So I feel like my opinion, my house shouldn't have been demoed until I spoke with someone. And it's not my responsibility that the city was incompetent and sending me to the wrong place for an appeal.
So do you have the documents that you filed for those 2 appeals?
I didn't bring them with me, but I do have them at home. I didn't know I had to bring them with me.
Okay, so do you
I
know?
thought that would be noted because it's through the city. He's telling you right now that I put in 1 appeal, but I put in 2. So am I able to get another date so I can bring my appeals in so I can show you?
Well, let's see if we actually need to do that, but if we do need them, we will give you the opportunity.
I
to
thank you
provide
very
them.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Can I
All right,
just
so
ask, where did you put the appeals? Where did you put the 2 appeals?
That was in the basement at what is it, 15th and JFK?
Do you know what board or what commit, like what?
what office
What
they were
office?
going to?
Where they told me to go. I had to go into this small office downstairs. I asked them, was license inspection upstairs? She said, no, I do the appeals down there in the basement. So I had to wait my turn, and then in the basement, I just went through the door.
But you don't remember what it was called, like where you went to go file the appeals, like? No?
That's where I was told to do the appeal.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you bring your paperwork with you when you went to file the appeal?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Any other questions from the board right now? Okay. Mr. Cohen, any questions for Ms. Slaughter?
No, thank you. Nothing at this time.
All right. Is there anything else at this moment you want to tell us?
I didn't feel like my house should be demoed. I have neighbors that's willing to speak about my building. I have record of how I had work done on the back of the building. It had a little issue, but not for demo. So I just feel like it was demo just because of the area that it was in. And so does my community.
Okay. Mr. Cohen?
Yes, thank you. The city calls Supervisor Tom Rebikowski, Manager Tom Rebikowski of LNI. Tom, if you can turn on your camera and unmute.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Could you please state your full name and position with the city
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
and your position?
Manager assigned to Contractual Services Unit or Emergency Response.
Thank you. And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Cohen?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Manager Rebikowski. If you can tell us, how many years have you worked for LNI and in what capacity?
I've been with the department since 2014. I've been assigned to the same unit since then, Contractual Service or Emergency Response. I am now the manager, but before then I was the supervisor. Prior to that, Certified Plan Review Specialist and then Building Inspector.
And through the course of your duties for LNI, have you reviewed the records for 601 Emily Street?
Yes.
And I'm going to put on screen the exhibits packet that I previously shared with the board and with Ms. Slaughter. Can everyone see what's on my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, could you zoom in a little?
Yes. One moment. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Supervisor Rebikowski, why don't we start with the photographs on page 2? Page 2 through 7, what are these photographs that I have on screen?
They are the properties, it's the 3-story property on Emily Street in question.
And were these photographs taken by an LNI inspector in the course of their duties?
They were.
And is this the type of document that the LNI inspector would store in the LNI system through the ordinary course of business?
It would.
So what are we seeing in this photograph?
You're seeing the front of the property, a 3-story masonry structure at 601 Emily.
Does this property appear occupied?
It does not.
Are there boards in all the windows and a board across the door?
There are.
Now scrolling to page 3 in the packet, what is visible on page 3?
The rear of the property with a large accumulation of vegetation that's encompassing the rear of the property.
And can we see the full extent of the rear of the property through the vegetation?
No.
And now scrolling down to page 4, what, if anything, can we see that is significant with respect to the rear wall?
You can see the semblance of the window assembly, but the rear wall is completely covered by vegetation and overgrowth.
And is there any particular risk associated with that type of vegetation and vines attaching itself to the rear wall?
Yes, the vines or vegetation, they add more weight to a structure. They also will take moisture out of the masonry units. They cause a lot of damage to the property.
And actually looking in this upper right-hand corner here, is there anything of note that you would want to note about this upper right-hand corner of the property where it attaches to the neighboring property?
Just the amount of overgrowth, the deterioration of the property, and the lack of maintenance.
And is there a risk to the neighboring property from all this vegetation sort of latching on to the rear of the next door, this premises?
Just a lack of maintenance, and then the other neighbors have to encompass the amount of maintenance to their property caused by the vacant property.
And sorry, scrolling down now to page 6 in the packet. What, if anything, can we see here at the sort of base of the rear wall?
You can see that the masonry wall or the brickwork is got a hole in it, and there are bricks on the ground.
Is this a superficial hole, or is this penetrating inside the structure?
I can't tell by that designation how much of the property is affected.
And what is being supported above those missing bricks, or what should be supported above those missing bricks?
There should be structure that's supporting, or those bricks are supporting structure, and they're not there anymore.
Okay. Scrolling down now to page 7 in the packet, pages 7 through 11 are Exhibit C2. I'll actually move down to page 8. Is this a different designation for this property?
Yes, the department, following an inspection, downgraded the property to eminently dangerous, as the property was still vacant and still in a state of structural distress.
And just for the sake of the record, was that designation downgraded on March 11th of 2023?
It was.
Can I stop you a second, Mr. Cohen? What was
Yes.
the date for the first designation?
Oh, sorry, that's a good question. Let me scroll back up to, let's say, page 5. Supervisor Rebikowski, when was this photo taken of this unsafe designation?
August 8th of 2022.
That would be, I think, approximately 5 months, August of 2022 to March of 2023.
Yes.
Okay. And now scrolling down to the photo on page 9 is, I guess, because it's March and we're coming out of winter, is there any foliage blocking the department's view now of the rear of the property?
There is no, well, there's foliage in that there is no green overgrowth, but the vine, the vines and
Well, are there leaves blocking the anyone from seeing what's happening with the rear of the property in this photo?
we can see the deterioration of the brickwork of the rear of the property. Yes.
And are there also vines crawling across the neighbor's property adjacent the sort of gray siding that we see on the right side of the picture?
There are.
And is the deterioration of the rear wall that's visible in this photo enough to downgrade the property to imminently dangerous?
With the amount of structure, the inspector downgraded it from unsafe to eminently dangerous.
Is there anything of note on the photo on page 10?
Yes, there's an alleyway that leads you back to this property. Anybody could go back to this property and experience the, or at least make way into the yard where the rear wall is deteriorating, and possibly some brickwork or something could hit that person.
And the hole that we saw earlier from the August photos, is it visible at the bottom of this photo on page 10?
It is.
And is there more of it visible for you to make an assessment of how deep into the interior it penetrates?
It penetrates through the rear wall into the interior of the property.
And is there a danger associated with that kind of like an open hole allowing, say, moisture to penetrate into the interior?
It allows weather to penetrate. It allows the deterioration. It allows vermin to enter into the property. It also will contribute to the further deterioration of the property.
And is there anything of note in the photo on page 11?
Another vantage point of the continued or the issues of the rear of the property.
Can you see now the actual rear of the property, like the yard? What type of debris can we now see in the rear yard?
It's a lot of trash accumulation, other materials. There's some buckets, and the remnants or what's left of the overgrowth before it started taking root later on, or it would start to take root as the photo was taken on March 11th.
Now, the petitioner said that some work was done to the rear of the property. Is there any debris or rubbish in the rear that would indicate that some type of work was done?
I don't know what kind of work was done. But I mean, you can see the photograph from the previous when property was designated as unsafe, and the vegetation was on the back. You can see that what appears to be maybe a bucket, a white bucket and the blue lid, that may be some sort of adhesive or mastic. A lot of times that bucket or that type of bucket is used for commonly known as joint compound for drywall, but there's no evidence of actual work repairing this property.
Well, and I realize this is sort of a counterfactual, are there any indications or evidence in this photo of the application of any drywall sealants or other compounds to the rear of the property that would help shore up the structure?
Nothing that would render the property safe.
And wouldn't any contractor or worker have to remove the vines from the rear wall in order to actually make that application or do repairs?
Well, being that the property was deemed eminently dangerous, that designation would require a engineering report and plans depending upon the severity of that report, and then a means and method of repair. So yeah, it would need extensive permitting or at least some means and method for repairing the property.
And were any permits obtained to repair this property?
There's nothing in our system other than the department's permit for the demolition.
And actually let me jump now to page 23 in the packet. Is this the record in LNI's system for 601 Emily Street?
Yes.
And are there any make-safe permits visible on this record?
No.
Just for clarity, this permit designation 530461 here, was that issued, I guess, a decade too early to be a make-safe for this property?
That was issued in 2014, specifically April 16th of 2014. The designations of unsafe and eminently dangerous was prior to the demolition permit, which was issued in 2023.
What was the
sorry?
answer? What was the answer?
The answer was that the alteration permit was issued 10 years prior to the property being declared, or approximately 10 years prior to it being issued either unsafe or eminently dangerous.
Thank you. That was clear.
And these two permits, the demolition permit and the plumbing permit, are those both from the city's issued demolition permit and sealing the lateral permit?
It is.
And are there any other permits recorded for this property?
None that I'm aware of.
And I know that the petitioner said that she had filed 2 appeals. What does this record reflect with respect to appeals filed for this property?
I show that there is, according to this record, there was an appeal that was filed, but that has the status of closed.
We'll get to that, but it's just the 1 appeal and not 2.
Correct.
And can we tell from this to whom that appeal was filed? Which board, to what office?
Not from this record, but I will literally scroll down 1 page or 2 pages. And is this the appeal designated 2022-3376 that we were looking at 2 pages up?
Yes.
And to what board was this appeal filed?
It was an appeal of the violation, and it was filed to the commonly known as BLER, but it's the Board of License and Inspections Review.
And is that the appropriate appeal board for determining whether a property is unsafe or imminently dangerous, or for granting extensions of time to repair those types of properties?
No, they would go to the Board of Building Standards.
And just to very briefly go over the differences between the type of appeal, is there a fee associated with the Board of Building Standards appeals that is not associated with BLER appeals?
There is a fee that is associated. I'm not sure of the fee amount.
And are there also specific questions that the Board of Building Standards would ask that are not apparent on this form, which just has the reason for appeal?
There would be multitude of questions that the board could ask of any appellant, but I'm not sure what those questions would be.
Okay. And
Right,
just
so,
for,
Mr. Cohen, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but this does have a space to check off that I'm appealing a violation. How would
yes,
someone, would the Board of L&I Review have notified a petitioner that, or have had a hearing, or how would somebody know that, oh, I have filed to the wrong board?
fortunately, that may actually require testimony from a board administrator.
Okay,
Because of three things. First, back in 2022, the Board of L&I Review was doing virtual only or Zoom only appeals. And I believe at that time, and this is where the testimony of a board administrator would be needed, I believe they were also doing electronic application submissions. And this obviously looks like it was filed on paper, which means at some point this paper was handed to someone, scanned, and put into the electronic system. The second reason, the board administrator would be able to tell you how fast they were processing those appeals back in 2022 and whether they had to wait until the Board of L&I Review actually could sit in executive session to determine whether to take an appeal like this and transfer it to the Board of Building Standards. And then the third point being, I don't know how long the lag time was in 2022 between filing a Blur appeal and having them do that analysis. So it is possible, and I don't have the testimony to show either way, that this appeal sat with the board's administrator for Blur for a couple of months. The property was demolished in the meantime, and then the board took action. And actually, that's the, if I scroll down to, sorry, here, page 30 in the packet, as an offer of proof, this is the notice of decision from April of 2024. Declaring that this appeal was moot, because by that point, the property had been demolished. So that's unfortunately why I don't have the answers for this board about how the Board of L&I Review treated this appeal. All I can present to this board is what I know happened based on these records.
and what was the actual demolition date?
If we go back to, please permit me, 32 in the packet. March 23rd of 2023 was when the notice of demolition was issued. Manager Rebikowski, do we know exactly when the demolition started after this permit was issued?
I can tell you that it was issued and then there were inspections that were conducted. I can tell you.
Well, actually, if I scroll down to page 37, I can tell you when demolition completed.
Okay,
So we have a record from February 28th of 2024, which is about a month and a half before the Board of L&I Review issued its decision. And you can see this, there is a vacant lot and a stuccoed sidewall where there was 601 Emily Street. So demolition was completed by February 28th of 2024.
thank you.
I can tell you that there is a note on the demo permit following an inspection as early as March 28th of 2023 that demolition has started.
Okay. And actually, let's backtrack a little bit to get more of the record presented to the board. I'm going to go back to page 12 in the packet. Is this the unsafe notice from August 9th of 2022 that was mailed out to the petitioner?
This is the violation notice in order to correct, illustrating the case number CF 2022079835, indicating the property at 601 Emily Street has been designated as unsafe, and it is to the owner of record, and it was mailed to 513 Snyder Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19148.
And just for the sake of the record, jumping from page 12, which is this August 9th document, to page 25, is this the August 17th Blur appeal from that same unsafe notice?
It is.
All right, but now we're going to go to page 16 in the packet. Sorry, actually, let's go to page 19 in the packet. I apologize. There we are. Is this a separate and new imminently dangerous violation notice?
It is. It reflects the new case that was written against the property, Charlie Frank 2023019981. Same address, mailed to the same address, declaring the property at 601 Emily Street as eminently dangerous. The date of this notice, March 12th of 2023.
And I'm just going to note for the record that the 513 Snyder Ave address is the same address that's on the Blur petition, or Blur appeal, and the petition to this board. And this notice was issued the day after the photos were taken for the downgrade to imminently dangerous, correct? So is photos March 11th, notice March 12th?
Correct.
Sorry, I'm scrolling down. Actually, sorry, let me jump from here to page 31 in the packet. What is this document that I have on screen?
It is the bids that were conducted or gathered for the demolition of the property at 601 Emily. They range from the winning bid that was awarded to USA Environmental for $18,998, all the way up to a bid that was submitted by Pacioli Construction, and that was for $66,666.
And what's the date of these bids in the upper left-hand corner?
The bids were awarded or opened on March 22nd of 2023 at approximately 9:12 a.m.
So that's 10 days from the notice of violation that was issued for imminently dangerous violations?
Correct.
What's the appeal turnaround time for an imminently dangerous notice?
An unsafe or eminently dangerous notice is 5 days from the date of the notice.
And is that, or does the shorter time frame reflect the need to move quickly in these types of cases?
It reflects the further deterioration of the property, and it reflects the designation of the property being eminently dangerous.
And was this bid indeed awarded to USA Environmental as the lowest bidder?
It was.
And actually, we can move now to the demolition permit on page 32. Was this permit issued the next day, March 23rd?
It was.
Also to USA Environmental as the bidder with the same cost, $18,998?
It was.
And I apologize. I know we've sort of done some of the testimony. We know now when the work had started. What is this document that's on page 35 in the packet?
This is the invoice that the department received from USA Environmental for the demolition of the property at 601 Emily Street for $18,998, which was the winning bid price.
And then was there a final inspection that was partially passed on February 28th, looking at page 36 in the packet?
Yes.
And I know I'm sort of trying to rush through this, but was there basically a paperwork holdup that prevented full passing of the final inspection on this date?
In previous exhibits, it showed 2 permits were issued. One permit was for the demolition. The other permit was for the plumbing lateral or the sewer line from this property that connected to the sewer. That needed to be disconnected. This inspection resulted in a partial pass because we had not received the documentation from the plumber that the lateral had been completed. So the note was demolition complete, meaning that the property was down and all that work was done, but we still needed, it's a typo, it says later, but it's supposed to say lateral. Need lateral paperwork from Shegna, who is the associated contractor on that permit.
And we already saw the photo of the completed demo from February 28th with the photos. Now on page 39, is this the next day, March 1st of 2024? Is this finally the past final inspection?
It is.
And it says even in the comments, lateral invoice uploaded?
Correct.
And then what is this document on page 40?
This is the invoice that is sent out to the property owner for the demolition of the property at 601 Emily, reflecting the labor cost, which was $18,998, with the 21% administrative fee, bringing the total cost of $22,987.58.
And all the documents that I showed you, are they either documents that L&I keeps in the ordinary course of its business that are entered by an inspector through the course of their duties, or are they documents that, like the Blur appeal, that the petitioner submitted, but that L&I keeps in the ordinary course of its business?
Yes.
And then I will scroll down the final exhibit, which is just a copy of the petition filed by Ms. Slaughter. I would point out, however, in this petition that it does not say under reason for appeal that she is challenging the violations. It just says my house was demolished, and then she's crossed something out and something about payment. But the city would argue, because she has not challenged the violations in her petition and because of the failure to appeal to the Board of Building Standards, that Ms. Slaughter is not permitted by law to challenge those things which she could and should have challenged previously through the proper appeals process. And with that, the city moves its exhibits packet into evidence, and the city will rest, or well, actually, the city will end its direct examination. If Ms. Slaughter has questions of Tom, she can please ask away, and I can keep the exhibits on screen if she wants to put up any of the exhibits to ask him about it.
Thank you. And we recognize that our purview here is really review of the reasonableness of the billing and the city's process for that billing. So, Ms. Slaughter, do you have questions for the city's representative?
Yeah, my question was, why wasn't I notified for the first appeal? I never received anything about the demolish of my building. Also, I don't understand, when I look at the pictures, it's not what I seen when I went back there.
Well, if the city objects,
Go ahead.
the city's objection is just that Ms. Slaughter will be given time to put on more testimony if she wants to, but these are questions that should be directed to Manager Rebikowski, and we can sort of split the difference, ask questions of Mr. Rebikowski now, and then add testimony to the record later.
So, and we need one question at a time. So I don't know that Mr. Rebikowski has the answer to your first question regarding notification for, I guess, the appeal that you filed.
Yes, and also,
Well, one question at a time. I mean, he can only answer one question at a time. So, Mr. Manager Rebikowski.
So so the answer to the appeal question is I'm not part of the appeal process nor part of that board or that unit. So I would not be able to answer your question to the fullest extent or to the best ability.
Okay. And your next question, Ms. Slaughter?
my next question, when you did the inspection of the back of my building, does it show that someone could have removed the bricks and not the deterioration of the building? Because when I went back there, it didn't have all those holes in the back of the building and all the bricks missing. So could someone have damaged the back of the building as well? That's my question.
I don't know that Mr. Rebikowski can answer that.
Okay.
He would not know what's going on, but I'm sorry, I'm going to answer for you if that's okay. I don't, just in terms of the reasonableness of the question, it's a hypothetical, and I'm not sure that he would know what was going on in your neighborhood with your building. Mr. Rebikowski, if you want to add something, feel free.
How the damage occurred, I can't answer. I know that the property had suffered structural distress and needed to be repaired. And that's why the violations were issued.
Okay, Ms. Slaughter, how often did you go to the property to look at it?
After that, maybe 3 or 4 times, and the bricks were not missing when I went in the back of the building. the building didn't have all that damage. So I don't know, if
Well,
some,
when was that? When did you look at the building?
I don't remember the exact months, but it was in between, the appeal and, like every 2 or 3 months I would go back there.
When
Because
did you take ownership of the building?
I had the building for years. I don't remember exactly when. I've had the building at least over 15 years.
And what did you do to maintain the building?
I put a new front, I started some work in the inside. I did a few things in there. But
Okay.
the back of the building did need work, but it didn't look in that condition when I went back there. So, I don't want to hold the meeting up, so my questions were answered.
Okay. Did you want to tell us anything else?
No, that, the only thing I want to say is the back of the building didn't look like that when I went back there. So I really believe that someone did that, vandalized like the back of the building through some period or whatever. But that would be all. Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Mr. Cohen, any closing remarks?
Actually, I just have one exhibit to add that I had, just in case the question came up. I do have a copy of the deed to the property from 1995. So Ms. Slaughter is actually correct. Actually, a little more than, because it was a little over 15 years. But this deed has, you can see on every page, it has the book and page stamp of the Department of Records, notary seal. So this is when the property was transferred.
1995.
Correct.
It's like 29 years. Okay, I think that, does anybody on the board have any questions?
No.
All right, we're gonna step back for a minute and have a conversation. Everybody just sit tight.
Oh, just for the record, the city would move its exhibits packet and that deed into evidence. And Director Andre, I'll email you and the petitioner a copy of the deed.
So noted. Okay, if everybody, we don't have Nancy.
Nope, she's here.
Okay, there she is. All right, the tax review board is back in session. The board did spend a few minutes of time to review the testimony and documentation provided by both parties. And it is the decision of the board to abate one half the administrative charge based on the information provided that as to the L&I review appeal filed and how in some ways the city's processes did fail her by not providing sufficient notification that perhaps her appeal had been improperly filed or filed in the wrong place and, not really even closing it out until after the demolition had actually occurred. So one half the administrative charge will be abated. And we will provide 30 days for payment arrangements from the date of the adjusted bill. So can I get confirmation and concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameron, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Ms. Lauder, you're going to get a letter from the tax review board in about 2 weeks with our decision that half of the administrative charge is being waived. You'll get an adjusted bill following that, and you'll have 30 days from the date of that bill to make payment arrangements with the city for whatever the balance is that remains.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Good luck.
Thank you so much. And you all have a good day.
Do the same.
Same to you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
we're
members of the
gonna-
board.
We're going to move on to what is listed on our docket as case number 6.
Yes.
And I just lost the docket. Hold on. Okay, case number 6 for 1104 West Tioga Street. Last 4 digits of the docket are J81W. Rose Jackson is listed as our petitioner on this matter.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Jackson, good afternoon. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you state your full name for the record, please?
It's Rose, middle initial M, Jackson.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And so we are going to turn to the city's representatives first so that we can have them provide us with the dollar amounts and the dates that are being contested. And then we will come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here today and what you're looking for from the board.
Okay.
Mr. Cohen and Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell, if you can please, well, actually, before that, can we make sure that Ms. Jackson is given a copy of the city's exhibits and position statement? I did not have her email address when I sent the position statement and exhibits to the board.
I realize that. I'll make a copy.
Thank you. And
Yes.
with that, Ms. Mitchell, can you read the amounts into the record while we're waiting on the exhibits to be provided?
Okay. 1104 West Tioga Street. This is a CSU demolition bill. Bill date 3/20/2024. Bill number 2024-001103. Principal amount $19,972. Admin charge $4,194.12. There's no interest. There is a lien fee of $106.45, bringing the total to $23,462.27.
Okay. Mr. Cohen, any opening comments?
Actually, this case is fairly close to the previous one. The property was designated unsafe. In this case, in 2021, it was upgraded to imminently dangerous in 2023. You'll actually see in the photographs, there's a tree that was pushing its way through part of the rear corner of the rear wall of the property. And by 2023, it had split the wall apart, like unzippering the bricks. And then after the upgrade, there was no appeal. After the downgrade to imminently dangerous, because it's not an upgrade, there was no appeal filed. So the city moved forward with its normal procedures for demolition.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Jackson, what would you like to tell us about how this all came about and what you're looking for from the board?
Well, the house was my grandmother's house, and in 2022, I was hospitalized. So I had been trying to maintain it up until then. And I was hoping that maybe some cousins would move in, that sort of thing, but that never happened. And like I said, in 2022, I was hospitalized. In fact, I was kind of incapacitated for 3 months. And when, after that, all of the, I got the stuff in the mail about the demolition, and all of that. I did try to get some estimates on trying to repair that back wall, but I couldn't afford it. And basically, I really just can't afford, the cost that was that you charged, that fee, that 23,000
So, Ms. Jackson, when did you become the owner of this property?
in 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
And it was in 2021, do you recall receiving a notification that the city had already determined it was unsafe?
I don't remember seeing something like that it was unsafe. I do, I think I did get something, and I did try to have something done to that back wall, and it was some repairs done.
So from the time you inherited it in 2015 until 2021, was the property vacant?
Yes,
Okay, and did you check on it periodically, or how often did you
yeah,
go?
yes, I did. I kept clearing, I would go in and just maintain it and clear the yard and that sort of thing. I would check on it about, I guess, maybe twice a year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cohen?
Thank you. Manager Rebikowski, if you could please unmute and turn on your camera. And if we can note for the record that Manager Rebikowski has been previously sworn.
Yes.
Manager Rebikowski, if you can briefly, for the record, restate how long you've worked for L&I and in what capacity.
I've been with the Department of License and Inspection since 2014. I am currently the manager for Contractual Services Unit. Prior to being promoted to manager, I was a building inspector, certified plan review specialist, and supervisor assigned to the same unit.
And I'm going to share on my screen an exhibits packet. Well, before I do, actually, has the exhibits packet been given to the petitioner?
Yes.
Andre? Oh, yes.
Okay. And I will keep the exhibits on my screen just in case. You can ask me to go back or see whatever page of the exhibits you would like. And Manager Rebikowski, through the
Mr.
course
Cohen.
of...
Mr. Cohen, can I interrupt? I'm sorry. Could you zoom in a
Yes.
little bit?
Yes. Is that better?
I don't think it changed.
Yeah, it just did.
Okay, yes.
Okay, there's a lag.
Okay.
Manager Rebikowski, through the course of your duties for L&I, have you reviewed the records for, and this should be 1104 West Tioga Street, not 1101, and I apologize for the typo.
Yes.
And going to page 2 in the packet, what are these photos that are on pages 2 and 3?
They are the photographs of the rear of the property on Tioga Street.
And are these photographs of the subject premises when it was then in unsafe condition?
Yes.
And specifically, I'm going to scroll down. Well, actually, what's the date on these photographs?
January 27th of 2021 for the one that shows the rear bay. And then the next photograph is of a close-up of the rear wall where you can see that a tree is penetrated through the rear wall of the property. Photographs were taken January 27th of 2021.
And it looks like there's been some sort of gray covering applied over the brickwork in the rear corner. Do you know what that is?
It appears to be some sort of mortar or some sort of mortar mix stucco have been added to that section of the building.
And does it look like the brickwork is still sort of pushing its way out even with the mortar covering?
Yes.
And is mortar, or is what we see in the photo sufficient to correct the violations and render the property safe?
No.
Now scrolling down to page 3 in the back, or sorry, pages 4 and 5 in the packet. What do we see here on these pages?
Photographs of the rear of the a photograph taken by the area inspector, Inspector Brooks. This photograph was taken July 13th of 2022 at approximately 11 o'clock in the morning, showing the rear of the property. You can still see the gray or tan mortar that had been affixed to the wall, and that there is still a tree or vegetation that has taken root in that wall.
So January of 2021 to these photographs, which are July of 2022, is about a year and a half?
Approximately, yes.
And on page 5 now, what, if anything, do we see here?
You can see that the tree has gotten larger, and it is starting to continue to grow, and it is now cracking that mortar. And this photograph was July 13th of 2022.
And now scrolling down to what's on page 6 in the packet, pages 6 through 8. What are these photos?
These are photographs of the back of the property. Unfortunately, there's overgrowth that is shielding some of the photograph, but you can see the tree that is taken root in the rear wall of the property on 1104 West Tioga.
And are these photos taken October 31st of 2023?
They were, and they were
It's like a
taken.
year and a couple more months from the last one.
Yes.
Sorry,
and
what was the date?
The date is October 31st of 2023. They were taken by the area inspector, who was then Inspector Slover.
And scrolling down to a close-up, admittedly through some brush, what, if anything, do we see here in the close-up on page 7?
The side rear wall of the property on Tioga with the tree that has taken root in the rear sidewall.
Has that tree fully split apart the sort of the rear wall from the side wall?
Yes.
And moving down to page 8, what is this orange poster in this photograph?
That the property is now being declared as eminently dangerous for the property at 1104 West Tioga for the rear wall collapse, posted October of 2023 by Inspector Slover.
Now just going through the notice documentation, is this the unsafe notice that was sent out on May 1st of 2020?
This is the violation notice and order to correct, mailed out to the address of record at 1757 North Marshall Street, Philadelphia, PA 19122, declaring the property at 1104 West Tioga Street as unsafe. The date of the notice is May 1st of 2020, and the condition in violation: tree growing out of rear side bearing wall at roof line, pushing bricks out of place.
And just as an offer of proof, the 1757 North Marshall Street, if I jump in the packet to page 32, is the same address that Ms. Jackson put on her petition to this board. Now I'm going to jump to page 16 in the packet. Is this the November 1st of 2023 imminently dangerous notice?
It reflects the violation notice and order to correct following the inspection that took place on October 31st of 2023, where the property had been upgraded from unsafe to eminently dangerous. It was it's sent to the same address, 1757 North Marshall Street, reflecting again the property at 1104 West Tioga Street had been declared eminently dangerous.
And what's the condition in violation? This description down here under the violation section.
The condition is site total corner of wall has collapsed.
I'm going to go now to page 20 in the packet. What is this record that I have on screen?
This is a record from the city's Atlas system showing that there were 2 permits that were issued for this property, but these permits were issued February 7th of 2024, and they reflect the city's demolition and also the plumbing permit which is a requirement for the demolition of the property.
And were any appeals filed relating to this property?
No appeals were ever filed for the violations issued in relation to an unsafe or eminently dangerous condition.
And I'm now scrolling down to page 21 in the packet. What is this document?
These are the bid submittals for the demolition of the property. They range from a bid from Pedro Palmer Construction, which was the winning bid at $19,972, all the way up to a bid that was acquired by FH Demolition for $44,000.
And just to note for the record, does it say here awarded on February 7th, 2024?
It does.
And then scrolling down one page to page 22, is this the demolition permit that corresponds to that bid?
It is.
Is it the same cost, same date of award for the demolition at 1104 West Tioga?
It is the cost of the winning bid, yes, and it is made out to it is issued for the property, and it names the contractor that was selected for the winning bid.
And scrolling down in the packet to the page 25, what is this record?
This is the invoice that was received by the department following the demolition of the property at 1104 West Tioga Street for the same principal, $19,972.
And scrolling down now to the next page 26, is this the March 8th of 2024 passing of the final inspection for this property, for the demolition?
Correct.
And the next page 27, is this the photograph of the now vacant lot where this property was, or the structure once stood?
Correct.
And now down to page 30 in the packet. What is this document?
This is the invoice sent to the owner of record reflecting the demolition of the property for the total of $19,972 plus the administrative charge of 21%, bringing the total to $24,166.12.
Was this also mailed to the same 1757 North Marshall address?
It was.
And just noting for the board, as we sort of saw before on page 32, I have the petition that was filed in this matter. I would just note for the record that the reason for the appeal that the petitioner gave is hardship, retired on fixed income, do not have funds to pay bill. And with that, I will cease my direct and thank Supermanager Rybakowski and present him for cross-examination. And if the petitioner would like, I can keep the exhibits on screen and jump to whatever page she wants.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen. So, Ms. Jackson, you've heard all of and seen all of the testimony and documentation that the city has in this matter. Do you have any questions for Manager Rybakowski right now?
No, only that in 21, where I first got that notice about it was being unsafe, I did pay someone to correct that, and he told me pictures saying, because he said, he told me there was a tree growing, and I thought that was taken care of. Now, apparently, I guess it wasn't, but I did pay someone to take care of that. Other than that, I don't have any other questions.
Okay, and anything else you wanted to add? Mr. Cohen, do you have any closing comments?
Well, first, let me move all of the exhibits into the record, and I will stop sharing my screen. I think the board understands the timeline of this fairly well. The one thing that I would add is that this is a common story in the city, unfortunately, is a person has a property they do not have the funds to fix, and it continues to deteriorate, unfortunately, to the point where L&I needs to step in and abate the problem for public safety reasons. That is what happened here. The city does not really care about the administrative fee in this matter, but the city does care about recouping the principal, the costs of the actual demolition, because those were the costs that the city incurred to protect public safety. And with that, I'll leave this to the board.
Thank you. All right, well, the board is going to step back for a few minutes. Everybody just stay where you are. We have everybody back? Yes, all right. Tax Review Board is back in session. We did step back to have a brief conversation regarding all of the evidence and information provided by both parties. It is our decision to abate the administrative charge based on a finding of financial hardship and the city's lack of objection to that, which we appreciate, Mr. Cohen.
course.
Can I get concurrence from the board that the administrative charge in this matter will be abated?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So, Ms. Jackson, you will get a letter from the Tax Review Board that we are waiving or removing the administrative charge to the bill itself. You will get an adjusted bill from the city, and you will have 30 days from the date of that bill to go in, speak to someone about making some payment arrangements, perhaps to start addressing the matter. But based on the information and the photos, documentation from the city, I mean, it was clear that that building was imminently dangerous, and that the bids that the city did take the lowest responsible bidder in order to abate what was a very dangerous condition. So you'll get a letter from us with that information in about 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank
we're
you, Ms.
gonna-
Jackson. Thank you, members of the board.
We're going to move on to case number 1, triathlenes. Say license fee matter, last 4 digits of the docket, 9861.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is
on
the,
that.
oh, thank you, Manager Robichowski.
Oh, thank you.
Is the petitioner here for
Yeah.
triathlons?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 moment then.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cohen, you ready?
1 moment.
Okay, let me know.
Right, I apologize. The city's witness from the license issuance unit has not logged on yet. I'm just making sure they have a copy of the link.
Okay, I'm going to swear in Mr. Murray, and we'll see where we are. Good afternoon, Mr. Murray.
Yes,
Can you hear me? Yeah, my name is Paula Weiss, and I am the chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you state your full name for the record, please?
yes, Micah Harold Murray.
And Mr. Murray, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. We are going to, in a moment, turn to the city representatives so that we can have read into our record the dollar amounts and the dates that are in controversy, and then we will come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here today, what you're looking for from the board. Okay?
yes, thank you.
Mr. Cohen, have you heard from your witness?
Well, not yet, but as a preliminary matter, I believe, Mr. Murray, you closed the license at issue in March of 2025.
I'm sorry, you said I closed?
Yes, I've at least there's a notation in LNI's system that this specific license was marked closed by the applicant, by you. Is that accurate or is that inaccurate?
Did you say you don't need it anymore?
No, that's false. I never, I always was willing to renew the license. I don't know what anybody else has said in any other records or anything, but I'll wait to explain if I need to.
Okay.
I've never
Okay.
authorized any closure, no.
Okay.
All right, so hold on a second, then we're gonna see where we are. Mr. Cohen, are we getting anywhere?
I apologize. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a response from the city's witness yet. Can we take a 5-minute break?
All right, Mr.
Right.
Murray, just sit tight. We're gonna go off the record for 5 minutes. We're waiting for a witness from the city. So
I
just
apologize.
yell when you're ready. All right, Mr. Cohen?
I apologize. I haven't been able to reach my witness. The city could present just the records that it has in its exhibits packet as records of L&I.
You know what, let's
But,
do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let me just ask if Ms. Mitchell has a copy of the exhibits packet. If not, I can relay one to her and we can just go with the records of L&I that are in there. Ms. Mitchell, do you have the city's exhibits packet?
No, I do not.
And then give me one moment.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Just let me know when it's been received.
Okay. Okay, nothing yet.
It was sent over Microsoft Teams. If you have a
Okay.
Teams message pending.
Why don't we,
Okay, I have it
Okay.
now. I just gotta make it larger. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll also put it on screen, and I'll ask you when we're viewing the exhibits on screen, whether they're records of L&I. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
Why don't we read the numbers into the record and proceed from there?
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna really try to mess up the name of the company. Can one of you guys say it for me? What is it?
Mr. Murray, what's the name of your company?
Triad the lines.
Triathlon. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, this is for a license fee. Bill date 3/4/2025. Bill number 839544. Current license fee is $330. Past license fee is $1,320. Interest is $196.35. Penalty fee is $392.70. Giving a total of $2,239.05.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any opening remarks, Mr. Cohen?
Yes, I believe the last time that this license was active was 2020 to 2021, after which it wasn't closed, as you heard Ms. Murray state, or Mr. Murray state, but it was accruing during that time those annual fees and penalty and interest on those fees, and I'll get into the whole calculus of that later because it involves, as you know, the regulations and L&I. The statute, L&I regulations on the fees, and L&I regulations on the lack of closure of a license.
Okay.
And well, with that, I believe we should start with Mr. Murray.
Okay. So, Mr. Murray, could you please explain to us why you're here today, what you're looking for from the board?
Well, thank you. I hope you all are having a good day so far. What brought me here today was a continuance of from 2020, I had first got my vendor's license for the sidewalk sale. And maybe a week or two after that, the COVID shut everything outside working down. And fast forward 2-3 years later, when everything opened up, I say, I'm ready to start vending again. So I acquired the information to get back to the vending, and I was notified that I owed these back fees and penalties and interest and stuff like that. So besides me having a nervous breakdown because things just seemed like it wasn't working, I was unaware that the fees would be accruing. Now I'm told that I was notified when I first started the license, but I didn't see it. I don't really know. That did get past me. but the fees were so high, I was unable to either clear it up. So I did have a hearing, and they were able to hear my story and let me know that the fines and fees and penalties were waived, and as long as I was still willing to renew the license. So I agreed to that, and when I went to Illinois to pay the renewal, I saw that there were more fees added, and I didn't expect it, and I didn't have enough to even clear that. And I never was even close after that. Once the fees start adding on, and then I thought there was a discrepancy with maybe that the court didn't communicate with them in time for me to pay. But then I was informed after so many vigorous trips back and forth downtown that the fees were just adding up on their own, and some things were separate. I didn't really know that things were separate. I just thought that the court told me to go pay this, and when I went, the number was different. So this was a lot of running around, and fees kept accruing even up until now. And I'm glad y'all had a chance to hear my story, but this is where I'm at now. And I don't know what it is now as a total. And I was actually requesting that my fines and fees can be waived so I can still renew it, because I am still interested. And if also, if possible, they can be waived, will that still be, I'm trying to say, if I had to renew it or whatever number y'all tell me, and then I go there, then would the number still be different? I'm trying to see how it actually works, because I'm still learning. But I do, this is part of my plan to make a livelihood. I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to go out doing anything cause a trouble. So I'm really in a predicament to handle this, because I have some duties, obviously.
Okay, so let me just make sure we have it straight. You went in and you got the license in 2020, March, and then everything shut down. And then in 21 or 22 or 23, did you do any vending? Did you do any, this was a sidewalk vending, correct?
Not one time.
You didn't do it, haven't done any business
No.
since 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, but you'd like to start again in 2025?
Yes.
Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Cohen?
Yes, I have a few questions for Mr. Murray. To start, to clarify, the vending license itself, is it for the area of like Broad Street and Hunting Park Ave?
No, I was told that I will be given a list, and it will have a list of names where I can't go. So I planned on being I think you have that, you say Broad and Hunting Park. I'm not sure how to have that as a area, but that is an area that I was wanted to go at sometimes, but I haven't been there. No.
Well, with the board's permission, I'd like to share on my screen the exhibits packet that has been previously provided.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually already queued up on the second page the license that was issued on March 9th of 2020. And Mr. Murray, would you agree that this license does itself specify Broad Street / Hunting Park Avenue?
Yes.
But because it's sidewalk sales, that would mean it would be sales outdoors, correct?
Yes.
So for the sake of argument, let's say the lockdown started, I think, March 16th or 17th of 2020. But then we entered into, I think, the yellow phase on, I wonder if say roughly by the end of May 2020. Had you, by the end of May 2020, thought about restarting sidewalk sales outdoors?
Can you repeat the last?
What was the yellow phase?
So there was the lockdowns. Yellow phase order was limited reopening. So there were you could do things outdoors. You could do things masked indoors in a couple of places, but it wasn't a full reopening until the green phase, which I want to say was maybe end of June 2020. If the board would like, I can do a little more research and pull the executive orders of the mayor to show when these dates occurred. But for our purposes today, Mr. Murray, let's say by the end of June 2020, were you thinking about restarting your business?
You said by the end of June 2020?
Yes, that's correct.
I wasn't unaware of the green and yellow, any colors or situations. I actually didn't think that even though they said people was coming out, I wasn't sure if people was comfortable coming out. So I didn't really have it in mind to start back. And see, my main thing, I thought that every year I would have to renew it. So that's what made my mistake, because I didn't come to close it, because I was told that I would have to close it. But like everything else, a lot of times, if you don't renew it, it closes automatic. And that was my mistake. But coming out earlier around 20, no, it never crossed my mind at all until 2023 sometime when everything was open. And I wasn't really up to date with too much politics of the lockdown and closure of the COVID. But yeah, that was my situation where my understanding that my first mistake was not closing the account. So I was prepared to, when I wanted to start, to actually go open it, and they said it was not closed, it just wasn't renewed.
Okay, we're gonna let
Okay.
Mr. Cohen keep going then.
Okay. Actually, I don't think I have any more questions for Mr. Murray, but I can move into the city's presentation unless Mr. Murray would like to make any more statements for the record. It is his opportunity to do, I guess, a redirect or narrative for his own testimony.
Well, I don't have much, but as far as Hunting Park, maybe I did put that on there because I don't have an address for my company. Maybe I might change that in time for my address where I live. But that's where I wanted to actually go. And then, yes, but I never have.
But you haven't been there?
No, I never have vended outside with in the time with me ever since COVID. No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cohen, I think your witness is here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Edens, good afternoon. If you could please turn on your camera and unmute yourself. And I'm also going to send Mr. Edens a copy of the city's exhibits really quickly.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Edens, if you can just let me know when you received my Teams message with the city's exhibits packet.
I received it.
Excellent.
Mr. Edens, is your camera on?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Very good.
Good afternoon, Mr. Edens. If you could please tell the board how long you've worked for LNI and in what capacity?
I worked for LNI for eight years.
All right, I want to swear him in, Mr. Cohen.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Yes, please.
No,
swear
that's
him
fine.
in and then-
So Mr. Edens, could you just state your full name for the record, please?
Najib Edens.
Mr. Edens, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Cohen?
The questions that I asked previously before you were sworn, did you answer them truthfully to the best of your ability?
To me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry,
Yes.
I
Sorry.
just needed to clear that up after you were sworn. Now, how long have you worked for LNI and in what capacity?
8 years. I'm currently a code administrator and supervisor, which I have been for 2 years. Prior to that, I was a code administrator with remote support for 1.5 years, and I was also an ops inspector for 4 years.
And I'm going to put the city's exhibits packet on screen, if you'll just permit me. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we can.
And is it big enough? Do I need to zoom in at all?
I think it's okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, Supervisor Edens, what is the document that I have on display on my screen on page 2 of the packet?
It is the license for a vendor sidewalk sales license for,
And
yes,
sorry, go ahead.
for Strong Roots brand clothing.
And is the license holder Triathlenes LLC?
Yes,
And does this license designate a particular area of the city where it's valid?
yes.
And what area is that?
Borough Street and Hunter Park Avenue.
And when did this license become effective?
March 9th, 2020.
And is it an annual license?
Yes,
So that means it expired basically March 8th of 2021, the day before March 9th. So
Yes.
basically 1 day shy of 1 year plus 1 day.
yes.
Now for these types of licenses, are they automatically renewed?
No,
What would the applicant need to do in order to renew the license?
he would have to renew the license either through Eclipse at home, or he could always schedule a in-person appointment to come in and have it renewed at the counter.
And if I recall correctly, did the Eclipse system start use for licenses in like 2016 or 2017?
Right, yes.
So as of March 8th of 2021, or shortly before it, would it have been available, the Eclipse system been available to renew this license?
Yes,
And the same thing for every year thereafter where, the annual period comes to an end, would Triathlenes LLC have been able to renew the license through the online system?
yes.
And if a license holder, like a vendor for sidewalk sales, wants to stop selling on the sidewalk, what steps would they need to take and who would they need to contact?
They would have to contact license and inspections and amend the license to request the closure of the license.
And actually, can you log into the Eclipse system now and check the current status of this license 839544?
Yes.
We're hearing background noise from somebody.
That is me.
I was about to ask, could you please ask the people in your vicinity to quiet down as nicely as you can?
My apologies.
Okay, let's.
So
move on.
getting back on track. Have you looked up license 839544 in the Eclipse system?
Yes, the license is currently has been closed. The license closure was requested on March 4th, 2025.
And what was the reason listed for the closure?
Customer unable to pay, decided to close license.
Thank you. Scrolling down to page 4 in the packet, is this the current record showing the status of license 839544?
Yes.
License status closed.
You know what, Mr. Cohen, are you sharing your screen?
Is it not on screen at the moment?
I'm not seeing it.
Hold on one moment. I will stop and reshare. Is everyone seeing the it says license up at the top and then has 839544? Excellent. All right, and is this the current status of this license?
Yes.
And just to clarify, is there a difference between the expiration date in 2021 and the closure date on March 4th of 2025?
Yes. The date, the one day it was closed and the other is the expiration, the date it expired.
So can a license be essentially expired and inactive but not closed?
Yes, it could be inactive, but not closed. You actually have to request the license to be closed.
Okay,
So Mr. Cohen, let me stop you.
okay.
Mr. Murray has closed this license.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. If Mr. Murray has closed this license, the city is no longer going to seek these fees and fine and interest and penalty, correct?
Correct, but it is Mr. Murray's contention to this board that the license is not closed.
I
And that he is
understand.
still seeking its reinstatement. So technically, the issue of, or the question of fact of whether the license is closed needs to be determined by the board. So that's why the city is
I
putting on the
understand that.
evidence.
But my
Yeah.
question is what happens? So if in fact it's deemed closed and he wanted to resume sidewalk vending at some point and went into L&I, what would happen?
Well, actually, let me direct the question to Supervisor Edens.
He will be responsible for the fees,
So
for
they
the
would,
past due fees. Yes.
all right, so it would reopen this matter anyway. So really this is moot. Okay, so let's move on.
And I'm just going to scroll down. This is part of the TRB packet, specifically the February 6, 2025 amended petition filed by Mr. Murray. Supervisor Edens, is this a copy of the license fee statement that L&I typically issues when someone is seeking to renew a license?
Yes.
And is this specifically the license fee statement that was issued most recently, I think probably as of February of 2025? Well, to the best of your knowledge.
Yes.
And just to confirm that the amount that was due as of the last request or application for renewal was $2,219.25.
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for Supervisor Edens. I would move these exhibits into evidence, but also allow Mr. Murray the opportunity to ask any questions. And I can keep the exhibits on screen if you'd like to use them.
Mr. Murray, do you have any questions for Mr. Edens regarding anything that he's testified to?
Well, I'm confused about how it says Hunting Park different from my address, 6146 Wayne Avenue. Are those two different documents?
Mr. Murray, are you asking about what's on the license on page 2?
Yes,
Okay.
because I know one of them said Hunting Park, and one of them is saying Wayne Avenue.
Is Wayne Avenue your address? Let me see if I can get this.
Yes, Wayne
So,
Avenue.
okay, and then I think as Mr. Cohen had explained, and maybe Mr. Edens as well, where it says Broad Street, Hunting Park Avenue, that's the area where your license would allow you to have set up your sidewalk sales.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
And is there any other areas available?
you know what, this is not the place to ask that question. We would not know.
Right.
Wherever you had gone into MSB in order to get the license would be the appropriate place to ask about the parameters of that license. Do you have any other questions for Mr. Edens?
As far as the closure, how do we stand with the closure part? Because I didn't authorize a closure.
Well, that's fine. I mean, if the city's records say it's closed, you're disputing that, and the board will have to take all of that into consideration. But I guess the question for us is to confirm with you that you don't want it closed. You would like to actually renew this license.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and the question then becomes what happens to the fees and the interest and penalty that have accrued for the years 21, 22, 23, 24. And those are all the back, because you paid for 20 and you would like to pay for 25, and that's what the board is going to consider.
Thank
Whether there's anything, that we can, do with regard to any of that. Mr. Cohen, anything else?
Yes, actually, for the board's and the petitioner's benefit, the city has included in its packet the actual statutes and regulations. And you can actually see here the annual license fee of $330 that we've been talking about. That kicks in every year on March 9th of the subsequent year. And then on page 40, this is the section in 9102 that deals with those 1% interest and 0.5% penalty accruing. You can see at a rate of 1% and 5.5% each year for each month or fraction of a month thereof during which the fee or charge shall remain unpaid. So that's what defines the accrual. So every year when the 330 gets imposed, after that, each month after that, there's these 1.5% penalties and interest that start accruing on that annual license fee. And then I'm going to go to 41. This is the regulation adopted actually in November of 2020, but it was a practice applied since years prior to that, if a license is no longer desired, if the license is discontinued, a request to close the license must be submitted to the department, which you heard Supervisor Edens testify to. And unless the license is affirmatively closed, the fee, along with interest and penalty, continues to accrue regardless of the license expiration. And with that, sorry?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, and maybe Mr. Edens is the right person for this. For the annual renewal, first of all, when someone originally applies for and receives a license, are they provided with all of this information regarding the renewals?
We don't provide them the information. The information is on our website.
Okay, and when a license is needs to be renewed, a year goes by, does L&I send any reminder notice or billing for the next year's license fee?
We send out a mass invoice for expired licenses.
Every year?
For the most part, I say yes.
Well, would these delinquency notices be in the license record in Eclipse?
Yes, and the delinquent notices are mailed out.
So
to
when
the address on file.
Okay.
Can you check the Eclipse record to see whether delinquency notices were mailed out for this license? 839-544.
Yes, we'll look. A delinquent notice was mailed out on January 25th, 2023, April 14th, 2023. Those were the three.
Two. So
two in January, one in April. I'm sorry.
Okay, but not until 2023.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Murray, do you recall receiving any delinquency notices or billings from the city in 2023?
2023, I think I might have, that's when I think I discovered the fees.
Okay.
But not 2021, 2022, no renewal type of mail. I had no mail. Let me know that I was delinquent.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cohen, anything else?
I'll just stop sharing my screen and move the city's packet into evidence. I will point out, as an argument of the city, ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's actually the law in Pennsylvania that every party is presumed to know the law, the statutes and regulations. But beside that, if Mr. Murray had intended, like he said, to stop vending, as he said, it was his mistake not to close his license. And by leaving it open during the intervening years, he essentially did not notify L&I that he wasn't using it.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna
Thank
step
you.
back. Everybody sit where you are. Melissa, you're back.
I can't hear anything if anybody's speaking. Yeah, I can't hear anything.
No, that's perfect.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
good.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have everybody back. Tax Review Board is back in session. We did step back for a few minutes to review the information and documentation that was provided to us and the testimony by the parties, and it is our decision that for the years 21 and 22, that we're going to direct that the license fee be waived, since the city's own testimony was that the first notice he received of any kind of delinquency or requirement to renew while he was not even in business was not until January of 23. And in addition, all interest and penalty is to be waived. Can I get concurrence from the board?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerdiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Could I ask a clarification?
Sure.
Is the interest and penalty being waived for 21 and 22 license fees or for all license fees?
For all license fees, for all
Okay,
years.
thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Murray, we did offer some relief in the way of 2 years of the license fee and the interest and penalty that's accrued, and we'll provide you with 60 days to take the time to make arrangements so that you can pay the balance if you want to renew your license. You'll get a letter from the Tax Review Board in about 2 weeks with that decision. An adjusted bill will follow from L&I, and you'll have to be in touch with the department in order to make arrangements to make the payment of the balance and renew your license. Okay?
Wonderful, I appreciate it. You say it's gonna be mailed in 2 weeks?
Yes. You'll get a letter from the Tax Review Board with our decision.
Okay, and I'll take that to L&I.
You'll also get an adjusted bill at some point.
License fees are a little different. So he's gonna get our letter in 2 weeks, but then after that, there are directions to go make an appointment with license and inspections. And then when you make that appointment, be prepared to pay that balance amount. They'll give you that amount there, like when you go make that appointment.
Okay, so I won't know until then. Okay.
No, from what I've gathered, you have to make the appointment to get the number, but you want to do that as soon as possible, because then you could come back within that 60 days and make that payment.
Okay.
You're probably looking around $1,000 right now. And in addition to the new license fee, which would be another $330, I believe. So
Yeah.
ballpark $1,500 figure.
I probably won't be able to afford it, but I appreciate it. I was only prepared to pay the renewal. I'll guess I don't know what I can do, but I'd say.
Well, you know what, when you get our letter, it might still make sense for you to at least make the phone call for the appointment, and they'll give you the final number. Our number is not a final balance due. We don't do those final calculations.
Yes, I thank you. I'll definitely follow up there.
Yeah.
Because I had help to get what I need now, and I don't know if I'm gonna have that much help. So I'll go as far as I could go, and I'll see.
Well, good luck to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, so that actually concludes our docket for today. Tax Review Board is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
See you
Good
around.
night,
Thank
everyone.
you. Good day.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Thanks for your help,
Take
Leah.
care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.